All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling the one question that haunts pretty much every single person chasing a CCIE. How much lab time do you really need to pass? We're going to cut through all the noise and give you the real number, a number backed by pretty much everyone who's made it to the other side.
This is it, right? The big one. The question that's going to dictate your life for the next several months, maybe even a year. Forget what you read on some random forum post. We're talking about the actual practical number you need to aim for. So what is it?
There you have it. 500. 500 hours. It's not 300, it depends. The proven, time-tested number for serious candidates is 500 hours of focused, hands-on keyboard lab time.
And look, I want to be crystal clear about this. This isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's a hard minimum. When you look at the people who actually pass this beast of an exam, they've almost all put in at least this much time. You can think of it as the price of admission.
So why 500? What's so magic about that number? Well, it's because those 500 hours take you on a very specific journey. You're not just repeating tasks, you're evolving. You go from knowing the theory to being able to perform flawlessly under some pretty intense pressure.
See, it's not just 500 hours of the same old thing. It breaks down into these distinct stages. Those first 100 hours, they're going to feel slow. You're just getting the syntax down, building that muscle memory. Then from 100 to 300 hours, you start to get fast, you start seeing the patterns. But here's where the real magic happens. Hours 300 to 450. This is your resilience phase. You're breaking stuff on purpose just to get good at fixing it. And that last chunk of time, that's all about simulating the real 8-hour exam over and over again. You can't skip any of these stages.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? You might feel pretty good at 400 hours. You might think, I've got this. But that last 100 hours, that's your buffer. That's your safety net for when the exam throws you a curveball you didn't see coming. It's what turns technical knowledge into true exam readiness.
Okay, so we've established the 500-hour rule. But, and this is a huge but, just clocking in for 500 hours isn't going to cut it if you're doing it wrong. The quality of what you do in those hours is way, way more important than the number itself.
And this is the difference, plain and simple. On the left, you've got wasted time. Passively watching videos, doing the same easy lab a dozen times. It feels productive, but it's not. On the right, that's where the real work happens. It's hands-on, it's messy, you're constantly pushing yourself with new scenarios, you're breaking things, and you're always racing the clock. So you have to ask yourself, which side of this slide looks more like your study sessions? You know, this right approach actually has a name. It's called deliberate practice. This isn't just about repetition. It's about structured, focused practice where you are actively trying to improve a specific skill. You set a goal, you try it, you get instant feedback, did the ping work or not, and you keep hammering away at it until it's perfect. This is the secret sauce.
All right, so theory is great, but how do you actually put this into action? Let's make this real. We're going to give you a practical, 4-phase blueprint that you can use to structure your entire 500-hour journey.
Here's your framework. It's simple, but it's powerful. You start at phase 1, mastering the absolute basics. Then in phase 2, you go deep on every single topic on the blueprint one by one. Phase 3 is where it gets fun and chaotic. You start mixing everything together in huge labs to see how it all interacts, and more importantly, how it breaks. And finally, phase 4 is pure exam simulation. You have to go through these in order, no shortcuts. And here's what that looks like on a calendar. You can see how the hours are distributed. Notice how the biggest chunks of your time, we're talking hundreds of hours, are spent in those deep dive and integration phases. That's the core of your prep. Whether you're doing this full-time and trying to knock it out in about 3 months, or you're fitting it in around a job and family over 8 or 9 months, this is your roadmap to success.
Okay, one last piece of the puzzle, and it's a critical one. Where are you going to spend these 500 hours? Because the tools you use for your lab will have a huge impact on how effective your practice actually is.
This chart pretty much tells the whole story. Sure, you can use basic simulators for maybe your first 50 hours just to learn commands. But look at that huge bar in the middle. The vast majority of your time, a whopping 400 hours, needs to be in a high-fidelity emulator. Think EVNG or GNS3. Real hardware? Yeah, it's great, but save it for the very end, for those final mock exams.
So the takeaway is simple. Don't go broke buying a massive hardware lab you don't need. Your absolute best investment, the tool that will carry you for 90% of this journey, is a solid, high-fidelity emulation environment. It's realistic, it's flexible, and it's exactly what you need.
And there we have it.
The number is 500. The method is deliberate practice. The plan is the 4-phase blueprint. It's all laid out for you. 500 hours is the price of entry to that elite CCIE club. So the only real question left is, when does your clock start?